everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in this episode of Dye Time I am not wasting any of this dye. I have just finished dyeing some fleece and this is what's left over. The dyes I originally used were frozen Valentine blush and fluorescent fuchsia acid dyes from Dharma and black from DCE Craft and Design, which is also an acid dye. And you can see in here, I think this is mostly fluorescent fuchsia that is left. This is a hot dye bath. I'm just turning the heat up a bit more, and there is loads and loads of acid in there. In fact, and a bit more of my vinegar. And I have here a double-stranded sock blank, and this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 4-ply. You see here it is double-stranded, so it's 2 strands here, and when unravelled it will produce 2 50-gram balls of yarn. Now I'm going to try dip dyeing this. This is dry, obviously. Actually, I'm not sure if I want to dip dye, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the best way, because I know fluorescent fuchsia can take quite a long time to bind to the yarn, and it doesn't actually look like there's too much dye in there, just going on the colour that's there. So I think I'm just going to pop the whole thing in. This is all dedicated dye equipment. I don't use any of this for food preparation. Yeah, and you can see there, you might be able to see there, like that little splodge there, and here, this is bits of the fibre left in the pot that I dyed. I got most of it out, but there was still those just little bits floating around that didn't want to get on my spoon, and I don't have a dedicated dye sieve, so I couldn't really get those last couple of bits out. What I think I'm going to do, this is a last minute project, it's a leftover dye project that I hadn't planned. What I think I'm going to do is let this dye set to the yarn. I'm going to leave this on the heat for a good 30 to 40 minutes, and then after that I don't know what I'll do. I think I'd quite like to speckle on this actually. Maybe not a speckle with the fluorescent fuchsia, but I might dig out the frozen and the black dyes that I used on this. Possibly not the Valentine blush. I'll see how I feel once this is all set to the yarn. But I think the dye bath is getting a little bit clearer already. So I'm just going to leave this now for a good 30 to 40 minutes, and hopefully that'll be enough time for all the dye to set to the yarn. This has completely cooled down now. I don't know if you can see here, there is a tiny hint of pink left in that water, but otherwise it is pretty clear, which I am very happy about. I've decided I'd like to do some low immersion speckling on this, and so I've moved it to this tray here. The stove is not on at the moment. I've squeezed out a lot of liquid, and I'm going to be using frozen and black acid dyes, which I did use in the original one. I decided not to use the Valentine blush and fluorescent fuchsia, but I really like pinks, blacks and blues together, so why not do it this way. So I've got all my dedicated dye spoons, and this is frozen. I'm just going to sprinkle little bits on like this. I don't know if this is necessarily the best way of doing it. I'm not looking for really sharp, defined speckles. Wouldn't really be able to get it with this method anyway. More sort of patches is what I'm looking for. Sort of like areas of blue, areas of black. I think I'm going to keep this area blue, this area black, but just put a little bit of blue over there, just the tiniest bit. Just like that. And I'm using another spoon for the black. In fact, this little pot is so small, I can't actually get my spoon into it, so I have to use the end of the spoon. I've got my gloves on, I've got my mask on. I'm still making this up as I go along. I'm now debating, do I want to just leave this for 10-15 minutes just cold with the powder on, or do I want to pour water on straight away and heat set? I'm not too worried about the dye going through to the other side, but this is not the easiest way of sprinkling dye. That black is a little bit clumpy. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to leave this for a few minutes just while I sort some bits and pieces out, wash up those spoons, etc. And then I'll come back to add some water. I think that's what I'm going to do. And take some pictures of it while it's like this, because I think this looks great. This has been here for about 5 minutes and I just wanted to have a quick close up. The black has not split. I wasn't expecting the frozen to split. I've never seen it split before. But the Fibre reactive black that I have, when used in powder form like this, it splits into blues, pinks and yellows. But this acid dye, you can see, it's still just black. I just find that a very interesting comparison between Fibre reactive dyes and acid dyes. Well, the only Fibre reactive dyes I have are Dharma's. I don't know if any other company, these Fibre reactive dyes act the same way in powder form. But I just thought that was interesting to note. Now I'm going to add a bit of water. This is water from the dye bath that I was using yesterday. And I did actually put my dirty spoons in here. So that's why you can see there's a hint of blue and black in here, just from the powder from my spoons. There's still no heat. I'm just going to pour this on, just to try and dissolve that powder. I'm wondering, did I use far too much and I have forgotten about the edges? Quite possibly. Oh, that black is moving down. This pot is not flat. It either dips in or it springs out. I think it's dipping in at the moment, so it's not the best, but it's the only one I've got. I'm going to put the heat on low. Got a big burner there, a small one there. I'm wondering if I used far too much black. Probably. You can see there's the water's sort of pooling over here, but on the edges, you can't really see it there. There's no water, so it's quite difficult to get this flat. So I'm going to have to use more water just because I don't want these edges scorching. I have scorched yarn before in the microwave and it is very, very upsetting when that happens. There we go. I'm going to let this come up to just below a boil. I'm going to want to see some more bubbles around the edge, and then I'm going to turn the heat down and really watch this. So like I said, I don't want to scorch it. I've been using the dye bath water from yesterday. There is a hint of pink in there, but I'm not expecting that to really change the end colour. That's getting quite steamy now. I'm going to turn the heat down, and while I don't actually have a lid for this tray, I do have 2 trays that are the same. So I can just use the other tray as a lid. And I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this for the next 30-40 minutes. And I'll keep topping up the water if it looks like the water level is getting too low. It's been half an hour now. So let's have a little look at this. Looks to me like all the black and the blue is in our sock blank. The only colour here I see is that pink that's left over from the dye bath, and I don't think that pink is going to bind. That's looking pretty good actually. I'll just grab my tongs. Yeah, the colour's gone through nicely as well. Now, do I want to add any more blue, or shall I just leave this how it is? I think I'm going to leave it I'm going to add the rest of the dye water from yesterday and some more water just to give this a more full immersion set up now, to really try and get any of those last bits of powdered dye that may not have completely dissolved yet. Because I've been using the dye water from yesterday, there is plenty of acid in here already, so I don't need to go and add any more acid. And I'm just going to turn the heat up, let this come up to boil, or just below a boil, because I have added cold water. And I'm going to leave this for another 15-20 minutes, just giving it an extra little boost. And then I can let this cool down and we can wash it. This has completely cooled down now. I did transfer this sock blank into my bowl. You can see there is quite a bit of pink there. I think some more of this pink did come out as it was cooking and cooling down. Not worried about that. I'm just going to wash this in some cold soapy tap water. I am expecting there to be a bit of pink coming out, simply because it did while we were heating this, and there was pink left in the dye bath. So I'm expecting some pinks to come out. But I don't think there's any pink in there. I'm not sure if there's any pink coming out or not, actually. There's definitely no blue and there's no black coming out. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard on the black here, but we'll see. I really like how the blue looks. Yeah, I think there's possibly a bit of a hint of pink there. Yeah, I think so. Now, because there was a hint of pink in this wash water, I am just going to let this soak in cold soapy water. This is very cold water because it's January. It's very, very cold. But I'm going to leave this to soak. I'm going to change the water every, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, whenever I feel like, really. And hopefully it won't take long for that just last remaining hints of pink to wash out. I think that's looking better already, but I would still feel more comfortable if I just leave this to soak for a little while. And here is my finished sock blank. Now this is the half that I put mostly black on with the odd specks of blue, and this is the side I put mostly blue with the odd specks of black on. Now the reason I've got it folded in half like this is simply because my light box is about the width of this half of the sock blank. There's only a tiny little bit space either side, so there just isn't room to have it stretched out. I really like how this has turned out. I like how we've got some really dark patches of blue and then it just spreads out and fades out. The same with the black as well. There's no breaking going on. I may have gone a little bit heavy-handed with the black on this side, but I think it works well. And if you look underneath, on the other side, a lot of the dye did work its way through the sock blank. So we've got not so much the blue, definitely that black, but I think it looks great. And the pink looks great. Now if we just pull this apart, just see. I can't really tell, but I would expect there to be some sort of resist marks here, so there'll be little patches, little specks of white in here, sort of reverse speckling almost. Can't really tell, but I would expect there to be some there. This black has really sort of taken over, and I think there's a little speck of white there. But this should be really, really fun to knit up, or crochet up, or weave up, whatever your craft is. Yeah, there's some sort of, I'm not even sure if that's pink or white, I can't really tell. But whatever your craft is, this would be really fun to work with. And because it is 2 strands knitted together, you can see here are the 2 strands, and this red is just holding it in place to stop it all from unravelling. Because it is 2 strands knitted together, this will unravel into 2 matched sets, 2 matched 50-gram sets of yarn. So I think yeah, you could make socks, matching socks, matching mittens, whatever you like. I really like sort of this effect is really dark and then it sort of fades out, but no breaking. I think it looks really great. I'm so happy with this. Now in this pink, there is likely to be some fluorescent fuchsia in there because that was part of the mix of dyes that I used originally. So I am curious to see whether this glows under a black light. Turn that off. This isn't perfect, but yeah, I think there's a big patch there. There's not loads. That might be, maybe not so much fluorescent fuchsia in here. Little patches here and there. Yeah, I think there's some little patches of fluorescent fuchsia, but mostly not. I'm not disappointed that there's not really much fluorescent fuchsia in there. It was more of a curiosity than anything. And there are a couple of little patches that glow, so that's quite fun, I think. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Please do click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video and what do you think of this sock blank. Would you have used blue and black to speckle on top of this pink, or would you have used different colours? Let me know. I publish a new dyeing tutorial every Monday, usually around 6 PM UK time, and I do like to try doing different things in my videos, so there should always be something interesting to watch. Thank you so much for watching.